Back in the day, Facebook was a gold mine of information for advertisers. One ad campaign can bring thousands of visitors to your website and last for months at a time. It wasn't unheard of to get 10 times the return on your advertisement spend. Life was great. But now, thanks to iOS 14 update and major controversy over data collection, everything is different. Facebook used to be really cool. See, we knew our target's name, age, gender, salary, home type. Hell, we even knew if we were planning on having a baby or moving across country. Okay, well, before I start to sound like a creep, please remember that this is all the doing of Zuckerberg. He basically created a candy store for entrepreneurs with his crazy gold mine of personal information.
Would you be comfortable sharing with us the name of the hotel you stayed in last night?
No.
No one was actually using it to spy on people. We just wanted to sell you stuff that you're probably already looking for. But now, since everyone wanted their privacy for some weird reason, access to personal data is fairly limited these days. And recently, the newest iOS update has made an enormous dent in the capabilities of Facebook advertising. I'll even show you exactly how it's affected my ad account in just a minute. Now, before we start celebrating all this new privacy, we have to ask ourselves, what does this mean for entrepreneurs that depend on Facebook to drive customers to their business?
Are you willing to change your business model in the interest of protecting individual privacy?
Congresswoman, I'm not sure what that means.
For all the newbies out there looking to launch their first ever Facebook ad, hoping not to lose all of their money on their first Shopify dropshipping store. For all those people, this update is definitely a terrible news. So let me show you why. It's never been a secret that Facebook knows quite a lot about us. We tell them our name, age, tag location, and feelings in our posts. They learn a lot about us from the information that we actually voluntarily give up in the name of online socializing. But what is all this data that we're actually scared to give up? Well, they used to have about 100 different data points for each and every Facebook user. Using all the information they give up combined with your habits on Facebook, like the type of post that you like, the accounts that interact with, even the location tags in your picture, the algorithm can determine what kind of car that you own, how often do you go on vacation, if you were in a relationship, what kind of places you visit, your favorite coffee store. They can even determine what other Facebook users live in your house. On a more obviously business-related side of this information goldmine, Facebook used to track what kind of purchases you make or almost make on and off their website.
How do you sustain a business model in which users don't pay for your service?
Senator, we run ads.
Through partnership with data brokers, Facebook was able to keep a log of everything you bought by matching your credit card number. So, for example, if you buy a mountain bike from Target with your credit card, Facebook will connect that transaction to the one that you've made on their site by using the same credit card, then begin showing you ads for bicycle helmets, hiking gears, outdoorsy clothing, or anything their business users are trying to sell to you. And while all of this might already sound like a huge invasion of privacy, I haven't even gone to the most controversial part of the data collection practice. On top of all, Facebook can figure out who you know using your contacts, people that you've been in the same room with, or coworkers. Facebook attempts to connect you with friends by tracking your whereabouts.
For its algorithms to work and for its micro-targeting to work, for its business model to work, it has to remain a surveillance machine.
Facebook was also able to track your actions and predict your future, which honestly sounds a bit sketchy. As possibly the most slimy part of this data goldmine, Facebook and other social media platforms began selling all this data to other organizations. So what? That's what these people do, right? Well, in this case, Facebook was able to determine when a user attends certain political rallies or protests and reported this data to a partner called Geopedia. And in 2016, the ACLU found that 500 police organizations had signed up for the service to help them track down users that were attending these rallies. In fact, the Baltimore Police Department used this site to monitor and respond to protests taking place after the death of Freddie Gray. But Facebook did not stop there. They began using the data to predict their users' future. This data was super important to advertisers as it helped them determine exactly what to sell and who to sell it to, and pretty much when. Now, while this update put a little bit of a damper on my advertising strategies, even I jumped on the opportunity to forbid Facebook from tracking me, alongside 75% of all Facebook users. According to Branch, an organization that analyzes mobile app growth, people are giving apps permission to track their behavior just 25% of at a time, essentially cutting the data pipeline that has powered digital advertising for years. So what is Facebook advertising capable of now? Is it completely useless? Well, before, Facebook was able to track virtually everything you did online. But now, the iOS 14 update gives everyone the choice to decide what is being reported and what isn't. From your location to your purchasing habits, access to your photos and app tracking, you get to decide if your data is mined. So how does this translate to capabilities of Facebook advertising? Well, let's jump into my ad account and show you exactly what that means for people that are looking to advertise or if you're already advertising. All right guys, so I just jumped into my ad account so that I can show you what the iOS 14 update has done. So looking at this, you might not see anything different. I'm getting sales, it's working. But so once you actually jump into the ad sets is when you start to notice the difference between then and now. So let me actually jump in and show you this first campaign. So as you can see, it has 6 purchases. So if I go ahead and click it, obviously Facebook is telling us we have 6 purchases, but wait for this data. So this is a software that I use that actually helps me track everything that happens through my Facebook advertising. That's definitely something you're gonna need if you're currently running Facebook advertising. And I'm gonna leave the link down in the description if you wanna go ahead and check it out or sign up for this software. It's not cheap, and I would recommend it for people that have already been running ads, but not so much for beginners because you don't really need it starting off because it's actually pretty expensive. So with that being said, if you go ahead and look at this, Facebook is telling me that I only have 5 purchases, but this software is telling me I have 12. So looking at it from the face value, you're gonna be saying, hey, I'm not profitable, so I'm gonna end up turning off my ad set. But the whole time, your ad set has been actually profitable. So this is one of the biggest things that's been happening recently with the iOS 14 update, is you're not gonna be able to understand where the sales is coming from and which ad set is actually doing well for you, which is gonna actually cause you to lose money because you think your ad sets are not doing well. You're gonna end up turning it off, even though it's doing well like this one. Let me show you another campaign. So if we go over here, as you can see, Facebook says we'll have 17 purchases from here, but look, Facebook says we'll have 7, we actually have 9. Facebook says we'll have 2, we actually have 8. Facebook says we have 3, we have 5. As you can see, there's a lot of difference between what Facebook is telling you that you have and the actual value. So this is pretty much what the Facebook iOS update has actually done to your advertising. You're not gonna be able to understand how your ads are doing just because you're not gonna get the full data. So like I said, if you're interested in this software that can actually help you track better, I'm gonna leave the link down in the description, so make sure to go ahead and check it out. So that being said, let's jump back in. While you can still find some level of success on Facebook, there's still some major fluctuation, and you definitely need to buy a third-party tracking app if you want accurate reporting, which isn't really an option. But don't freak out, there's always plan B. Well, the plan is using TikTok. If you missed my last video on the insane power of influencer marketing through TikTok, definitely go check it out if you have not. But we're not even talking about using influencers today. We're just talking about the crazy potential for virality, just creating and maintaining a brand on TikTok. The potential for virality on TikTok is unlike any other social media platforms ever before seen. By staying up to date with trends and making people laugh while plugging in your product, of course, brands are able to garner tons and tons of free traffic without needing to invade anyone's privacy or spending any money. Here are just few examples of brands that are using TikTok videos to sustain their brand and grow their reach like crazy.
My 12-year-old sister was inspired to start her own business, and I wanted to show you guys the handmade crystal rings that she can make and how hard she's been working on her first collection. I taught her how to take product pictures, and she used me as one of her hand models, and she's actually looking for some more on TikTok. This is her uploading it on the website, and I'm honestly so proud of her.
So the moral of the story is that it sucks that people want their privacy, but also it totally makes sense that you don't want Facebook knowing that you're trying to have a baby, right? It's kind of weird. And even though it's so much more difficult now to run profitable advertising on Facebook without spending money on third-party tracking apps, there are so many other options to successfully advertise without invading people's privacy. So if you enjoyed this video, all I ask from you is hit that subscribe because I'm gonna be dropping fire content every single week, so you don't wanna miss that. And make sure you leave a comment, let me know what type of videos you want me to make or any recommendations that you have, leave it there and hit that thumbs up as it really does help the channel. So with that being said, I'll see you in the next one.